Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Recruiters with No Limits. Always live and never scripted. I'm here with my sidekick and co-host, John Ruffini. What's up, Johnny?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. And our guest today, Jersey swag is what I'm going to have to say, because anybody in New Jersey has a swag. There's only one state that has that swag. Mike Menzer from Staffing the Universe. What's up, brother?
What's going on, gentlemen? Thanks for having me.
Hey,
good to have you here.
Anytime.
My
And
pleasure.
hey, I got to ask you, Mike, New Jersey has so many. I did some research. You guys have like all the singers, Whitney Houston, The Boss, Bon Jovi. I mean, seriously, John, they're all coming out of Jersey, man.
It is rich in talent in many ways.
Yeah, not in this seat though, so please don't ask.
You don't give yourself enough credit. It's funny, for years, like many people, the only thing I knew about New Jersey, I thought all New Jersey was the Turnpike. I thought that was all of New Jersey.
Well, the last 15 years, it's the Jersey Shore, unfortunately. So
we won't go there,
stereotype.
right? Oh, boy. Well, hey, Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick and what's going on with you and Staffing in the Universe.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. So Mike Menzer, I'm the managing director of the Staffing the Universe family of companies. We're a group of multiple operating companies headquartered in East Brunswick, New Jersey. And we focus on a variety of industries and skill sets across the board. Outside of your standard skill sets, office, accounting, industrial, et cetera, we also do a lot of government service work. And just at the end of last year, we actually announced our new MSP, Evaluate.
Nice.
So we do a lot of that, and we're also doing a lot of payroll servicing and a variety of other things as well. So yeah, we are growing rapidly would be an understatement, and we're really, really excited. A lot of opportunity out there.
A lot going on. Do each of those business units have individual brands, or is it all under Staffing the Universe?
Yep. So everything is under the Staffing the Universe umbrella, but each have individual brands, from Rotator Staffing Services to industrial, medical. As I said, Evaluate. We have a newly acquired company a couple of years back, FieldLink, which deals with telecom industry. So really getting out there.
Holy
That's awesome.
cow. When you say the universe, you really mean it.
The
name says it all, John.
Yep.
I think that's
awesome. We
awesome.
are national as well, and we're currently in over 20 foreign countries.
Holy cow.
Yes, you could tell from the bags under my eyes.
Hey, like we were talking about before we went on the air, busy is a good thing. Sounds like you're very busy.
Absolutely. Like I said before, if you're not busy, there's a problem, right?
Absolutely.
Not in this day and age, man. Every day we could be working 24/7, guys.
For
Got that
sure.
right.
It's exciting.
Good stuff.
There are still, the amount of job postings for recruiters is off the charts. It's amazing. If you're a recruiter, you are getting hunted and you are sought after, whether it's with an agency or whether it's in-house with a talent acquisition group. Are you seeing much the same in the great state of New Jersey as we're seeing the rest of the country?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've actually, we've gotten a lot more finite in terms of our recruiting team and the specializations that they have. And one of the areas, little pro tip here, one of the areas that is exploding, like you said, is the corporate and contract recruiting world. And we've created a silo of individuals that solely focus within that sector because it's so popular and such a need right now.
Yeah, one of our business units in-house solely places contract recruiters at our parent company, HCA Healthcare. And I mean, we have upwards of 80 to 100 of them working.
Oh, wow.
With a demand for more. I mean, the companies can't find enough talent, and they need people who can help them get there. So it's a good time to be a recruiter.
It is exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, big times. I got to say, here in West Virginia, they called me up and said they want me to take over the whole state. So I'm going, of course, one city at a time, but it's good times here. So
somehow I think you'll do it.
Well, all I can say is I'm not going to talk about the other firms out there, but they're scared. The sharks in town.
Sharks are in the waters.
There's no ocean in West Virginia, so I got to be a land shark, which is what I drink. So a perfect fit, right?
Now, are those other firms the chum or?
I love it.
That's
Brandy.
Right.
That's fast. Well, hey, Mike, let's just jump into our topic today, man. We don't waste any time. I mean, this is something that's true to me, all you guys. I would have never met any of you right now on the show if it wasn't for networking at staffing associations and being a big member. What do you think? And let's start with the chat.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking before we went live, Richard, you and I met at an ASA Staffing World quite a few years back and started our relationship there. John and I have known each other for, we'll just keep it at a little over a decade now. But we reconnected through the American Staffing Association as well. So I know for me personally, it's been a huge opportunity. And I'd like to thank the owners of Staffing the Universe who really got me involved in the first place. Initially with the American Staffing Association, and then with our local chapter, the New Jersey Staffing Alliance, which I'm going to be talking about today. So it's just great opportunity to network with other like-minded individuals. And although we were joking about our competition before, I will say both for ASA and NJSA, the great thing about it is even though we're competitors, we work together to make our businesses better and just for the betterment of staffing as a whole in the country and on a local level. So yeah, from my perspective, there's nothing more important as a business owner, as a staffing company, than joining a local association. There's a lot of benefits that you receive from that.
It's a really good point. And you learn what I found that was so pleasantly surprising when I first started networking with associations, both on a local and national level, is that your competition willingly talks about their business and you share things that are going on, not trade secrets, but you learn from each other in a very unselfish way that you wouldn't think. It'd be like, oh, you're a competition. I can't say too much about my business, when it's quite the contrary. Everybody's an open book because to your point, we all want to get better.
100%. Rich, sorry, go ahead.
And you know what? I think that the agencies that are people that's not involved yet, you got to jump in. I'm going to tell you straight up, you're missing out on this because at the end of the day, I know here in Pittsburgh and West Virginia, everybody wants it's our candidates, clients. They're everybody's clients and candidates. There's enough work for everybody. And I think we have to have that mindset.
Completely. And there's a lot of things that, a lot of benefits, both on a local and national level that the associations offer that people might not be aware of. Specifically for New Jersey, I'll speak to the fact that we have a legislative committee and we do outsource our legislative functions. And there are a lot of bills on the table over the past few years that have been, unfortunately, very harsh towards the staffing industry. And one of the primary things that we do is we work with legislators, we work with the local government officials, either hand in hand to help them write those bills and really make sure that, they understand what it is that we do, because let's be honest, most government officials don't really understand the staffing world. And on the other end of the spectrum, of course, there are those instances where we fight them, right? We fight the bills that are coming out. And at the end of the day, again, it's just for the betterment of every staffing company in the state of New Jersey. So we do a lot behind the scenes besides just networking and events and things of that nature. There's a lot that goes on.
And so many people in our industry have no clue that goes on. And it really does. It impacts, they feel the effects of it, whether it's a pro or a con, but they have no idea what's going on. And the folks in the organizations that are at the forefront trying to advocate on behalf of everybody in the industry. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on that people don't know about.
For sure. Exactly. And one of the things that we do as well is we try to make it as clear and available as possible that, hey, listen, these things are currently being presented to the local government. If they do go through, you need to be prepared for X, Y, and Z, right? Whether that's some of the pay rate issues that are going on right now, right? The inability to be able to ask for compensation or prior compensation. We were ahead of the curve on that. So there's a lot of things that happen that we just allow our members and the owners to get ahead of before it really comes down.
And you've been a real active member in both ASA and NJSA. Talk about that, because it's one thing to belong, but it's another thing to actually get involved. What prompted you to want to get involved at the levels that you are?
Sure. Yeah. So again, as I mentioned before, initially it was coming into Staffing the Universe. I came out of some of the larger companies, which I won't mention here. But that being said, I never heard of the NJSA or ASA, never knew about it. Right. So initially our ownership team here, who's been involved for many, many years, really pushed me and said, hey, listen, this is a great opportunity for you. One, to help our brand, but more so to help your personal brand and allow you to grow as well. So as I mentioned, initially I got involved with the American Staffing Association. John and I have sat on a council together for 5 or so years now, the Search and Placement Council, which we've both been able to chair and co-chair, which has been a great opportunity to not only learn more about the direct hire business and our business, but looking at different market sectors. There's individuals from across the country that, the reality is the more diversity you have, the better ideas you get and the different ideas you get, right? So that's really exciting. It's not just all our swag full Jersey folks, but it's everybody, right? in regards to the New Jersey Staffing Alliance, initially I just attended a board meeting. They had an open board meeting and said, "Hey, anybody can come see what it's like." I won't lie, I was very nervous to go. Never been involved in a situation like that. Thankfully, after networking with a lot of individuals on the board and folks that have been on the board for a long time, who have really been mentors to myself, was nominated to join the board of directors. And after just a year, myself, and shout out to our co-president, Wendy Tordilio, who's phenomenal.
Yeah.
We were named as co-presidents and have been in that role for now just about 3 years, and hopefully a long time to come.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
awesome
So,
stuff.
I respect that because, you didn't wait for it to happen. Someone kind of nudged you initially and said, "Hey, you can get involved with these." But each individual has to take the initiative. You've got to assert yourself. You've got to take the steps to get there, orient yourself and educate yourself about what's there, and then seek out an opportunity where you can play an active role and not just kind of hide in the corner and be silent the whole time, which is awesome. Because we're always looking for people to do that, right? We're always trying to recruit people in and get them active. And it's for everybody's benefit once they realize that once they realize what they're getting into, they want more. So it's awesome that you're playing such an active role.
You're so right on that, John. And you know what? It's there. If you're going to be in staffing the rest of your life, it's a guaranteed thing. You got to do this. And I got a little story. I got to say this real quick. 5 years ago, when I started going to all these staffing worlds and stuff, I looked around and I said, I seen people on a stage speaking. And I said, I want to do that one day. And 5 years later, look where I'm at. So,
right.
I'm that quiet guy in the corner. Well, I was never quiet, but I was like,
I was going to say, you're not quiet.
How many handshakes do I get? How do I get to the next level with the people who are up there, the experts? How do I get on their level? And it's just, from the support from you guys like you, that's what happens. When you come in new, we're going to just uplift you to the next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you get, phenomenal people, business owners, managers that you just have to, you create direct relationships with. And besides just, growing your knowledge base and learning more about the industry, the reality is from a revenue perspective, we are a huge business, a huge industry, right? But the three of us know it's a very tight knit community. We all know one another and we all work with one another. And at the end of the day, I mean, John, you know me, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all in. But I would definitely suggest if you're going to join an association, really utilize their benefits, right? Don't just join to join. We all eat, sleep, and breathe this industry 24/7. And if that's what you're going to do for your career, why not get better at what you do, right? Why not improve?
It's a great point. And, you made a comment earlier that you were introduced to it by your employer. That's a huge benefit when you have an employer that is actively involved in an association like an ASA or an NJSA, where they encourage their employees. There are some firms. I remember I was with a company for a short stint, and they frowned upon all the engagement with ASA and the publicity because they were afraid that their people would get recruited by someone else. And it was totally the wrong mindset. It's like, no, you don't understand. You have a chance to not only learn from them, but you can share your story about what your company does, which ultimately can help you grow your business and be more efficient from learning from others in the same sector. The cool thing that I don't know if people understand is within, let's take an organization like ASA, and they have it at the local level too. You've got different lines of business. You've got folks that do direct hire. You've got folks that do light industry. You've got folks that do healthcare. You've got folks that do different lines of business. And there's mom and pop companies all the way up to multi-million-dollar publicly traded companies and everything in between. So you can learn from other recruiters. There are workshops on how to manage your business. We did a workshop. Mike and I chaired a workshop one time before Staffing World where, okay, I'm running a successful contract end of my business. I want to start doing direct hire. How do I do that? So there's all types of things for business owners, for people who want to get into the industry, for people who want to explore different verticals. Mm-hmm. It's just at the local level, Mike, do you still have those divisions, although on a smaller scale?
We do. Yeah, we definitely do. And we when we're providing content or providing conferences or webinars and things of that nature, we try to delve into every aspect of the industry. And just to go back to a point that you made, which I really appreciate, even today when we're speaking with potential new members and business owners, there is still that fear that, hey, you might pull my clients away, you might pull my people away, or, I don't want to share trade secrets. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen, exactly. Right? We all appreciate each other. We all respect one another, and we all try to help. So my suggestion is for anybody out there that's never been involved, never done it, Go to one event. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. Whether it's the NJSA or, of course, it's across the nation, any other state. All the associations are phenomenal. I'll say this now. Feel free to reach out to myself through LinkedIn or any other means. I'm happy to set you up. We have a lot of connections in the industry. But just give it a shot, right? You're going to be surprised how much you get out of it.
You're totally right with that, Mike. And you know what else is? In my whole career, I've never had anybody I ask a question said no. 100% everybody just wants to give you information. They love to talk to you. It's so true. So nobody's ever going to shun you at all. I mean,
well, let's be honest, right? Majority of us are very type A personalities in this business. So what else do we want to do but hear ourselves talk about the good things that we've done?
Really?
Did I say that?
There's that swag again, right? The key word of the day, swag.
Right. I love it. It's so true, though. It's so true. And to Richard's point, I love that you said that, because you're right. You'll never get turned away. And if that person, to your point, Mike, earlier, if you ask one of us a question, for example, and we don't know the answer, we're connected enough that we can find somebody that does know the answer and that can help you. And that's the beauty of joining one of these associations, is that there's somebody who can help you. It might not be the initial person you interact with, but they can connect you to the right people.
Yeah, for sure. And just to expand about some of the benefits, and again, for NJSA or any chapter, it's not just staffing companies, right? We have a huge conglomerate of industry partners that are part of the membership group. Anyone from background screening companies, lawyers, lenders, and bankers, right? A big part of the industry right now, or what a lot of people are talking about, is M&A, mergers and acquisitions, right? We have multiple firms on staff that do exactly that and are there to point you in the right direction. CPA firms, whatever else it might be. So it's not just staffing companies; it's those other opportunities too, outside to really set up your back office for success also.
So you've got a big meeting coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes, we do.
How do you guys go about, which I'm blessed to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person.
Look at this. This is what it's all about right here.
Yes, sir. Our executive leadership conference.
Love it.
So it's actually our first large event. We've had a couple happy hours. We had our kickoff reception earlier this year, but it's our first large live event post-pandemic. So we are beyond excited and missing everybody. Cool. But yeah, our executive leadership conference is focused primarily on owners and managers of staffing companies, how to better manage and support their staff, how to better run their business. I'm sure we're going to go through some of the presenters, but that's anywhere from, as I mentioned before, we have an M&A panel. We have individuals that come in as experts to help better build cohesiveness with teams. So it's not just specific staffing, right? It's overall business functions as well. And we have a lot of great speakers this year. One of which, I don't want to give him too big of a head, but who's sitting on this call right now.
Oh boy! Hey, isn't there a game like a Jeopardy or something going on too? I hear.
Yeah, so that's currently the bane of my existence, actually. So it not in a negative way. We're very excited about it. It's just been a lot of work on the back end. So in the past, we've done a lot of networking.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Did Mike freeze up?
The technology of live TV. Okay, now
Michael, are you back?
I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
That was odd. So as I was saying, in the past with our industry partners, one of the main things that we want them to get from the conferences is to be able to network with potential clients and with staffing companies. We've done it. We've tried a lot of creative ways, from speed networking, speed dating for them. And this year we just wanted to really get something fun out there, and we're doing a staffing Jeopardy, which is specific to our sponsors. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention this, but I'm going to anyway. To anybody that goes, pay attention to our brochures, pay attention to the information coming out. There are prizes, there is swag that you're going to be getting. So a lot of great partners that we have that are offering up these things.
I love it. And here we go. Let's just throw this out there too. Look at these, man.
Yes. Thank you. So listen, without our sponsors, you guys know this, we would have no event. We wouldn't be able to do any of this, not only financially, but the support that they give, the information that they provide us. They're just phenomenal.
True partners.
Yeah, they
really are true partners.
I can ask you, Mike, how long does it take to get like a conference together? I mean, you guys are working year round to get this together, or what?
Yeah, I mean, so we have 3 major conferences per year, and then we have other smaller webinars, things of that nature. Again, shout out to our board members, shout out to our education and programs committee. Nini Alonso, who runs that, is phenomenal. And we have the whole board involved. And, for something like this, we've been working since last year, really. It's been over a year in the making. We also have our executive administrator, Denise Downing, who without her, we wouldn't do the things that we did, who's on the phones, managing contracts, working with the different casinos and locations. This year is at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, which we're excited about. The other thing that most people don't know as well, so we have a cocktail reception, the initial night, which is the 27th, which hopefully, John, I'll see you at.
You will.
We have 2 of our board members that are in a band that are going to be playing that night too.
Very cool.
Mike Gallo and Vince Grillo. So we're very excited about that. Shout out to them.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and maybe
assuming I don't have a travel weekend like I had 2 weekends ago, you'll see me.
I'm looking forward to it, because the last time I saw you in a music venue, you were performing yourself, and that was something not to miss.
You had to work that in there, didn't you?
That will be live, Mike. You know that, right? That'll be live.
The link's on its way. Don't you worry.
Well, hey, let's talk about the speakers here. I think there's 4 or 5 amazing ones here. Let's start with the first one. Mike, you can give us a little history of each one.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, our speakers are phenomenal. We're really, really excited about them. They've, really committed to helping us out. So the first one that I believe you just had on screen was Jim Gallick, and he's speaking to essentially how the world is changing, right? Post-COVID, a lot of things that are going in the market, gig economy, things of that nature, and how to really represent yourself as a business and how to sell in this current market, because we all know things have changed a lot over the last couple of years. To that aspect, I want to give John a lot of credit, because every morning I see, right, today's a great day to get on the phones. And unfortunately, I think a lot of recruiters, especially new to the business, think they can just text and email their way through this. And, it's all about creating connections and having a conversation, creating relationships. So,
Agreed.
Jim's going to speak a lot to that as well.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And our next one.
Yes. Sorry, it's a little small on my screen. I assume that's Cornell.
You see it, Mike?
Yep, I see it. So
Lee Rubin.
Lee Rubin is a gentleman that we've known for quite some time. We've worked with him on prior events as well. This is his first time speaking for us at an event. So Lee has a great background. He's worked with a lot of large companies, Fortune 500 companies, and smaller companies as well. And Lee has a phenomenal presentation, sort of what I alluded to before about building an extraordinary team and what those components are to create a phenomenal team that works together in unison.
Man, I'll tell you what, this lineup, John, wow, look at this lineup. This is amazing.
And I'll tell you, it was a lot of work, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cornell Thomas.
Yep. So Cornell is another Jersey guy. Comes from the corporate world. So we're talking about the art of pivoting, which we all know in our industry, you're pivoting 24/7, right? It's all about creating solutions for our clients and our candidates' problems. So really going to be talking about pivoting, adversity, how to deal with adversity, not just in the industry, but from a general business perspective. And I've had the chance to watch him on multiple occasions, and he's very, very insightful and provides a lot of great information.
Awesome.
Wow. It is a great lineup, and I think that's about it. I mean, is there one more person? I mean, I think there's one more person.
I don't think
have to highlight the last
we need
guy.
to speak about that.
I don't know who this guy is. I mean, I never heard this guy before, but I guess we'll put him up on the screen.
Yeah, we'll give him
You don't have to highlight this guy.
John, why don't you talk about it? Because this is your presentation, please.
I'm excited, and it goes right in line with what you're saying, Mike, about pivoting. Is the way that we have to manage and lead today is different than it was a few years ago. I mean, it's a different workforce. It's a different climate. Just simply getting people in the door is more challenging. So being able to understand who you're working with and who you're managing and what makes them tick, being able to, so we're going to talk about some specific techniques. Hopefully, they'll take away some action items that they can immediately put into play. And with the whole thing focused on what you were saying before, this is not an electronic business. It's an engaging business. So from a leadership perspective, leaders have to be engaged, and they've got to find ways to do it.
Completely.
So that now, when you put together an agenda like that, does the board kind of figure it out, or do you poll the members of the NJSA and say, what do you want to hear? Like, how do you determine what goes on your agenda?
That's a great question. And it's the answer is really all of the above. So Before we do that, I do want to mention just one more panel that we have as well. We do have a merger and acquisition panel, approximately an hour and a half. That's going to be talking for business owners about buying organizations and acquiring them and merging.
Wow.
So that's going to be exciting as well.
Wow.
But John, to your point, so after every event, we send out a survey to all the members that attend the event and ask them for their blunt and honest feedback. What did you like about the event? What did you not like? And what can we do better? And we really do take that to heart and try to use that for our upcoming events. So we do send out a survey to all of our members. What are you seeing in the market? What would you like to hear about? Of course, as you can see from the Executive Leadership Conference, we define a specific theme, but it's all about current events and what's going on, what's going to benefit your firm. Outside of that, we do also, of course, have our board members who, the benefit is they're all in the trenches every day as well. They're in this market. They know it, right? They're subject matter experts. So we get phenomenal input from them. And then at the end of the day, we kind of pick and choose what we want and then define what the theme is and put it all together.
You make it sound so simple, but I know it's not.
I wish it was, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's worth it. And when people like the same reason we do this business, right? Because we're empathetic. A lot of us are people persons, and we do it to help others. And the best part about this is when you have somebody come up to you after an event and go, I didn't even think about this. John, like you said, I'm going to implement this into my business right away. And you get a call a few weeks later, like, hey, I used that little small detail that you mentioned and my business has grown because of this, or, I've been able to include more diversity in my business, whatever it might be. That's what we do it for, right?
And if you attend, anybody who hasn't attended any one of these functions, you go, and even if you take away one nugget, it's more than pays dividends for itself, because you incorporate that one nugget into your desk and all of a sudden something euphoric happens. I can, even there have been entire staffing worlds that I've gone to, and I'm a copious note taker and I'm taking notes in these sessions, et cetera. But inevitably there's one thing that just the aha moment goes off in the light bulb and you're like, holy cow, I got to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. It's you take something away that helps you become better at what you do. And to all of our points, this is something that if this is going to be your career, then these are things you need to be involved with if you want to make it your career. If it's just a job, save yourself the time, because it's not that important. But if you're serious about having a career in the industry, this is something you need to get involved.
And exactly. And the food and the fun, entertainment, and drinks. I mean, come on now. That's part of the fun.
Woo. Well, that's the networking part.
Thank you to our sponsors for our open bars and our drinks as well.
Beautiful. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But that's where, when you're in these sessions, you're sitting down, you're paying attention to what's being, displayed, and you're getting educated. It's the after hours and lunches that's where you're doing your networking, and that's where you're really having those side conversations and getting to know other people. And that you can't put a price tag on. That's just irreplaceable. That's why I'm so excited that live events came back.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of price tags, I'm not going to mention money, but the other good thing is, especially with the local chapters, it's a nominal fee, right?
Yes.
It's not a large amount of money that you're investing. If you come out of that, like you said, with one nugget of information that's going to make you better, are you kidding? It pays for itself within the first day.
Exactly. Right? It's like going to the grocery store in one time, right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing too, to a point that you mentioned, John, is we're in an industry that's ever changing. It's never stagnant, right? So if you're not staying up with laws and things that are happening, you're going to be left behind.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Holy cow. With all the vaccination, not vaccination, not vaccination. I mean, things were changing by the minute on Capitol Hill, and you had to stay abreast of that for the sake of your employees.
Completely. And again, great job by our board members. We were putting out content throughout of how to deal with that, how to handle that, what that legislation looked like. And, it was a big benefit to our membership group.
Awesome.
That's amazing. So can people still sign up for this, Mike? There's still time, right?
Please, absolutely. You still have a couple of weeks. We have already have a great number of people. We have almost 100 people registered already.
Awesome.
Nice.
We did also, by the way, that brochure says that the rooms are sold out on April 6th. Denise did a great job in getting back to the Hard Rock Casino. We have opened up an additional couple of rooms as well at discount rates.
Great rate.
Yeah, and if you're interested, see the brochure, go to our website, reach out to office@njsa.com, or reach out to myself directly. I'm happy to point you in the right direction and help you out.
If I'm physically not in New Jersey, let's say I'm in Philly or I'm in Manhattan, can I still come to the NJSA?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yep. Yeah, so there, and then again, another great part about being a member, another benefit is as a member, you do get a discounted rate as well. So if you're not a member, I can't discount you, but it's still well worth it.
Fair enough. That's good.
Good stuff. And I tell you what, one thing Johnny and me and Mike talked about, we're going to go live. John, we're going to go live and put it on a platform right here on Staffing Shark, you know, so
surprise,
some good stuff.
Welcome to live TV. Okay. I'll own it. If you're putting up what I think you're going, I'll own it.
We are. I'm excited. Rich, thank you for the idea. That's awesome. And we do shameless plug here. Please follow us on social media because we do live broadcasts of our events on Facebook, LinkedIn, and other sectors as well. So you kind of get a play-by-play of everything going on. Well, of course, my suggestion is don't miss it and be there. But if you have to, at least you can get that content.
That's really
exactly,
cool.
Brother. And just send it to us. And you know me, I'll put it out there on my end too. So you know how it is. We're all in a family together, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Wow. Johnny, what do you think, man? I'm pumped up, man. I can't wait to just watch you guys live, man. I'll be jealous. I'll be sitting here in Pittsburgh saying, what the hell?
I was nervous when you said we're going live. I was afraid you were going to put something up here during the show that was going to embarrass me that you and Mike were talking about earlier. So I'm glad you didn't do that.
I mean,
I know
Rich,
you did.
I'm happy.
You did get kind of quiet, John. All we can say, it's going to come soon. We will say moonwalk is all we're going to say.
I'm dating myself.
Billie Jean is not my lover. Go ahead.
No, I'm thrilled that you took time out to join us, Mike. And you
absolutely
have been
my pleasure.
Such an advocate for the industry and so actively involved. But again, you chose to do that, and it's made such an impact in so many people's lives. I'm excited to see you at the end of this month. And, for everybody who was watching and listening and who will listen to this afterwards, the message is pretty clear. Get involved and network because you'll learn and you probably have more information to share than you realize. So get to know the people who you work with in your industry, your peers, and, everybody will help each other through it.
Completely.
So true.
Completely.
Hey, Michael,
yeah.
Hey, thank you again, my man. I can't wait to see you in person, man. It's Staffing World there. So
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Guys,
if you're in the area, you got to go to the event. I'm telling you, this is one of the premier events, man. And Johnny might be doing a dance. We don't know yet.
That's all right. That's what the after party is for.
You never know.
Well, hey, everybody. Hey, thank you for everybody that came on today. Remember, it's a holiday, so happy Easter to everybody out there, and we'll see you next week for another great show.
Enjoy.
Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it.
You bet.